In 2005, in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, there was a small private island, a place where no tourist ever visited and no media camera could reach. From the outside, it looked like a luxury paradise: blue waters, white sands, high security boundaries. But behind closed doors, something far darker was unfolding. One of the darkest crimes of modern history: young girls being trafficked and sexually exploited. This wasn't a movie scene. This was reality, later documented in U.S. investigation records and court files. The girls were lured by money, job offers, or promises of help and brought to this secret island. Once there, their world changed forever. The facilities were sophisticated: helipads, guest houses, private docks, CCTV-style security. But what was completely absent was law, consent, and justice. At the center of this network was one name: Jeffrey Epstein.
Welcome to Find the Stories. Please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment to support the channel.
Publicly seen as a billionaire financier and insider of elite social circles, but whose true identity remained in the shadows for years. The real question: how did this operate openly for so long, and why did no one stop it? When a few teenage girls first reported him to the police in Palm Beach, Florida, no one realized this would evolve from a local crime into a global scandal.
Bill and former President Bill Clinton have been named.
More are expected to come.
One where money, power, politics, and systemic failure collided. By 2019, Epstein was arrested again at the federal level on serious charges of sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. But by then, it was too late. The voices of the girls, long ignored, had turned into a question the whole world was asking.
It was an incident that occurred maybe like three and a half weeks ago with one of my stepdaughters. Found out that ended up being that they went to Palm Beach to a gentleman's house, and they start off by giving this gentleman a massage, and he pays them if he likes them and he thinks that they're pretty enough. He keeps them around to do other things. Okay. So I wasn't quite sure if there was an investigation or if you guys had any word. Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
This is where our story begins, from a secret island to a jail cell, and the man whose death didn't bury the truth, but made it even more mysterious and dangerous. Today, in this special episode, we explore who was Jeffrey Epstein and how did an ordinary man become the master of a criminal empire fueled by money and influence. And background.
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Island.
Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born in Brooklyn, New York. He wasn't born into royalty, didn't inherit a business empire, and had no extraordinary beginnings. His father was a government employee. His mother worked as a school assistant. From the outside, it was a typical middle-class American family, the kind that usually led to a normal job or a quiet life. Epstein's education followed the same ordinary path. He enrolled in college but never completed a degree. No formal finance education, no elite MBA. Yet later, he would sit among the world's richest and most powerful people, a first mystery investigators would question. In the early 1970s, Epstein got a teaching job in math and physics at a prestigious private school in New York, a school for children of politicians, bankers, and CEOs. Here, he got his first glimpse of the elite world, learning how money thinks and how power behaves. But Epstein didn't remain a teacher long. Without clear public explanation, he left education and entered the high finance world. By the 1980s, Epstein presented himself as a financial advisor and money manager. But his work wasn't typical. His clients were private, his companies opaque, and most transactions went through private trusts and shell-like structures. Gradually, Epstein wasn't just managing money, he became an access provider, a man who connected rich people to other rich people, giving them private spaces and making himself indispensable. This usefulness would become both his greatest strength and his biggest danger. Publicly, he appeared as a quiet billionaire, few interviews, minimal statements, almost zero transparency. Behind the scenes, his life grew increasingly luxurious. Private jets, properties, and secret locations, glimpses of which the public only saw much later. Was Epstein truly self-made or a pawn in someone else's game? How did he become so rich? Unlike ordinary financiers, his wealth was opaque. Public records don't show major hedge funds, IPOs, or revolutionary business models. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Epstein positioned himself on Wall Street as a high-level financial advisor. He claimed to work only for ultra-wealthy clients, those whose names never appear publicly. This secrecy was unusual in the finance world, where transparency is the norm. But Epstein's entire model depended on confidentiality. He built a reputation not just as a money manager, but as an expert in tax planning, asset protection, and confidential wealth structuring. His companies operated through private trusts and limited partnerships, making it almost impossible to trace the source or flow of funds. Investigators later noted that a significant portion of Epstein's wealth was connected to Leslie Wexner, a major American billionaire who gave Epstein extraordinary access, including power of attorney. This was the turning point. His life overnight expanded. New York mansions, private jets, global travel, all secretive. Yet questions grew. There were no publicly documented hedge funds, IPOs, or other financial success stories. How was he accumulating wealth so rapidly, and where was it coming from? Many theorized Epstein operated as an information broker, using access, introductions, and influence as currency. By 2000, Epstein had become a behind-the-scenes power player. He avoided the spotlight, gave no interviews, and shared little about his work. But the luxury he displayed made one thing clear: this was no ordinary wealth. Epstein's story was no longer just about money. It had become a tale of power, secrecy, and control. A network of businesses, shell companies, and hidden operations. By 2000, his business model was fully non-transparent. No annual reports, no public disclosures, and no client lists. Yet his lifestyle expanded. Private jets, luxury properties, secret locations, all signs of a functioning system, but quiet, discreet, and mysterious. Epstein didn't just manage money, he managed connections. Politicians to billionaires, scientists to donors, business leaders to global access. He became a gatekeeper. And when one person controls information, access, and privacy, they're no longer just an advisor, they're a power broker. Investigators later questioned whether he truly ran finance or used finance as a cover. By 2000, Epstein's business structure was opaque. Private entities, trusts, limited partnerships, a design that made tracing money nearly impossible. His primary office was in an expensive New York mansion, another red flag, as finance firms are usually in commercial buildings. Meetings weren't in boardrooms, but in private homes, jets, or islands. Jeffrey Epstein had become a master of access, influence, and secrecy, a man whose wealth and power were inseparable from his control over others.